Another man is gone. Another man is gone. Shot him down like a dog. Shot him down like a dog. Say it won't be long before we get it on, 'cause the system's wrong. Another man is gone. 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 He wasn't in front of somebody's house that he didn't know and frightening somebody in that house that because they did not know who that was in front of that. There was no probable cause. Why did they roll up on that young man in front of his own home with his family inside, with their guns drawn, not willing to say, hey son, we got a problem here. Let's talk for a second. Why couldn't that happen? Why did they have to chase him down in the back alley and take him from us? And no one will say, ask that question, but that's the question. It's clearly established he was unarmed. Why did it have to go down like that? This is Jersey. Jersey's a hunting state. Park. You got a little bit of everything going on in Jersey. I've seen stories where wild animals have gotten loose from the woods of this big state, this garden state. And state troopers and local police officers would bear down on this big wild animal with something that would tranquilize the animal. Not kill it, but just tranquilize it so the environment is returned to safety and the life is saved because they value the life of that animal. Well, young black man, that's all the probable cause you need. I'm trying to keep it here for me. Let me just go this way with this. I'm going to build on one of the last rallies I did. Just make a point, and I'll wind in a way similar to the way I started. You're right, son. This is an institutional crisis, this thing called police brutality. Institutional crisis, but where does it come from? When we were at downtown Trenton, New Brunswick, a couple Saturdays ago, and the chairman of this organization, People's Organization for Progress, finally did give a speech. He had to remind everybody that New Brunswick was one of Jersey's port cities. And in the early days of the country, the port cities is where they brought in all the goods that was going to make money for the economy. And one of the principal goods were African slaves. Jersey was the last up-south slave state. And the whole development of the American prison system and the modern police system begins with this whole question of keeping those people in their place. And it's an age-old legacy. Even though we have legally overthrown slavery and Jim Crow segregation, that's still with us. And it expresses itself most dangerously when you put a badge on someone, give him a gun, and then place upon him a dollar instead. After he came back from Mecca and then left the Nation of Islam, he said, look, if you can't get integration in New York City, it's cosmopolitan and up-to-date division, you'll never get it anywhere in this country. What is that? So we look at situations like this and like, this is why are we still here on this issue? Now, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Community that went up in smoke in 1967 around the same issue. And around politicians being afraid of the people who are supposed to serve and protect us. And the hallmark of a true democracy is that the people are in charge of their soldiers and their police. So these young men just recognized, as we say in the Panther tradition, that this was something on their watch, on their time, and they seized the time. Seized the time. They're both natural organizers. And I was quite frankly, I was telling Larry, I said, hey, for this direct action coalition, I was trying to figure which organization we was going to pull them into. Right? Because the People's Organization prior needs some young blood. We got some young blood in the new Black Panther Party, but not in this area. You know, so well, they got something on their own. That's good stuff. So we'll just help them. What they've been doing is tremendous. When something like this happens, it doesn't just traumatize the family of the person that's lost. It traumatizes the community. It traumatizes the hell out of the families. Very few families can stand up under these kinds of pressure and be as consistent and as strong as this family's been and as some families I've met over the years. One of the vice chairpersons of POP was a woman named Mary Weaver. The year that I wrote the poem that I just performed for her, her son was killed by the police in East Orange. And Mary didn't have an activist background. She was a social worker with a military background. It's a hard-working single mom, tax-paying American woman, you know, doing the things that we do. And this tragedy just fell in her lap. Granny was her only child. It just made her a grandma. They're devastated, needless to say. But Mary was one of the few people who was able to take her pain into power. Maybe it was her military training, I don't know.